Your dog has apologized to you before, probably more than once. You just never recognized it as an apology. Most owners think dogs say sorry by tucking their tail and looking guilty. That is the surface. Underneath it, there is an entire hidden language of reconciliation. 6 specific behaviors your dog uses to repair the bond after something has gone wrong between you. And most owners either miss these completely or, without realizing it, punish their dog for doing them. The last one looks nothing like an apology. It looks almost like indifference. It might be the deepest one of all. Welcome to Through Dog Eyes. They make themselves impossibly small. You raise your voice. Your dog immediately lowers their entire body to the ground, head down, ears flat, body almost melting into the floor. Most people assume this is guilt. Researchers have spent years debating whether dogs feel guilt the way humans do. What they found is more interesting and more relevant to your relationship than guilt ever was. Wolves and wild dogs use this exact postural sequence to stop aggression within a pack. It is called a submissive display, and its entire purpose is to say, "I am not a threat. Please restore the peace between us." Your dog is not small. A medium-sized dog could cause real damage if they chose conflict over collapse. The fact that they choose to lower themselves instead of fighting or fleeing tells you something about how much the relationship matters to them. Dogs who display submissive behavior after conflict with their owner tend to show elevated oxytocin in the moments that follow. Their brain is not just trying to end the conflict. It is actively trying to rebuild the connection. And here is where most owners make the mistake. If you keep your posture rigid, your voice sharp, your distance held, you are rejecting their apology before they can finish making it. Drop your own posture. Crouch. Soften. Let your body say what your voice cannot in that moment. I received it. We are okay. Stay with us, because the next signal happens right at the edge of that moment, and most owners completely mistake it for something else. And if this is already landing differently than you expected, subscribe to Through Dog Eyes. We are here every week. The full body wiggle the second the tension breaks. You finish scolding your dog. There is a beat of silence. And then suddenly they erupt, tail spinning, whole rear end wagging, bouncing toward you like something inside them just burst open. That reaction is not forgetting. That is relief made physical. Dogs do not experience time the way humans do. They feel the shift in their entire nervous system at once. And that sudden explosion is the release of cortisol and adrenaline that had been flooding their body during the conflict. What researchers call a displacement burst. It looks chaotic. It looks happy. It is actually a neurological reset, the body shaking off stress chemicals to return to baseline. Here is the detail most people miss. They are not just releasing stress somewhere. They are releasing it toward you, not away from you. They are choosing you as the anchor point for their own recovery. That wiggling, bouncing mess of a dog is saying, "You are still my safe place, even after everything." And if your own heart softens in that exact moment, that is not weakness. That is your biology responding to a genuine repair signal, bringing you something from across the room. You have just scolded your dog. The room is tense. You have walked away. A minute later, something nudges your hand. You look down. Your dog is standing there with a toy in their mouth, tail doing a slow, uncertain wag, eyes on yours. Most owners take the toy and toss it, thinking the dog wants to play. Some ignore it. Neither response sees what is actually happening. Behavioral researchers classify this as an appeasement object transfer. It has been observed in wolf packs, where a subordinate member brings an object to a dominant individual as a way of requesting reconciliation. Your dog is not playing a game. They are handing you something that belongs to them, something that represents security to them, and placing it in your hands as a gesture of trust. Think about what that costs them. Dogs are possessive by instinct. Giving something up voluntarily in a moment of vulnerability to the exact person they are in conflict with is not nothing. It is a calculated act of generosity from an animal with no words. If you pay attention, you will notice it is often the same object every time. The same rope toy, the same stuffed animal. The thing that makes them feel safest is exactly what they reach for when things feel unstable between you. Licking you completely unprompted. Right after a tense moment, your dog jumps up and starts licking your hands, your wrists, your chin. It feels affectionate. It feels cute. If you only see it as affection, you are missing what is happening underneath. In wild canid groups, licking around the face and mouth of a dominant individual is one of the most important appeasement behaviors that exists. Subordinate animals use it specifically during moments of tension to communicate submission and to actively request a return to calm. The critical detail is unprompted. No food present. No request. There is only one explanation that makes sense for that kind of licking right after conflict. Social licking triggers an endorphin release in dogs. The act of repairing the bond with you is literally rewarding to their brain. And research on human-dog interaction has found that when dogs lick their owners, both parties' heart rates tend to slow. One act of repair, two nervous systems calming together. If your dog is reaching for you after conflict, specifically with their tongue, they're not being needy. They are performing one of the oldest social repair rituals in canine evolution. Most owners think their dog either forgot the conflict happened or is sulking about it. Both miss what is actually occurring. Your dog is tracking the emotional temperature between you with more precision than you realize and working to bring it back up, rolling onto their back and going completely still. You have just corrected your dog firmly. Maybe your voice was raised. And then they drop to the floor and roll completely onto their back. Belly up, paws in the air, completely still. You might think they are playing, or being dramatic, or just do not care. They care more than you realize. A dog's abdomen is their most exposed area. Their vital organs sit right beneath that soft skin. No dog would willingly expose their belly to a real threat. When your dog rolls over after conflict with you, ethologists call this a passive submission display. It is the canine equivalent of complete surrender. Here is the mistake that ruins it. Most owners see the belly and reach down immediately to rub it. The dog tenses, sometimes kicks their legs, sometimes wiggles away. The owner walks off confused, maybe a little annoyed that the dog invited touch, and then did not want it. But the dog never invited touch. They invited understanding. What they need in that moment is a soft voice, a relaxed posture, a crouch to their level, a signal that you received what they were trying to say. Reach for them before they are ready, and you have just turned their most vulnerable moment into a reason not to trust you with vulnerability again. Following you in complete silence and just existing near you. This is the one that is easy to miss. After a conflict, your dog does not bark, does not whine, does not bring a toy. They just appear. You go to the kitchen, they're lying by the doorway. You go to the couch, they're on the floor a few feet away. You go to the bedroom, they follow and settle quietly nearby, not demanding anything, not performing anything, just near you. Most owners assume the dog has already forgotten, or is sulking. Neither is true. When a dog genuinely wants space, they leave. They go to another room. They face away. When a dog follows you in silence after conflict, they are doing the opposite of leaving. They are choosing deliberately to stay in your orbit while not yet making direct contact. Researchers call this proximity maintenance, and it has been documented in wolves, primates, elephants, and bonded dogs following disruptions within a group. It is one of the most evolutionarily ancient repair strategies that exists among social mammals. What your dog is saying without a single sound is, I am not going to push you. I am not going to force this. But I am not going anywhere either. I will be here, right here, until things feel right between us again. Final emotional beat your dog is not emotionally simple. They track the temperature of your relationship constantly, and they notice the moment it drops. When they make themselves small, they're surrendering their pride to protect the bond. When they explode with relief, they're telling you that you are still their safe place. When they hand you their favorite object, they are giving you the most valuable thing they own. When they lick you unprompted, they are performing the oldest repair ritual in their evolution. When they expose their belly, they're trusting you with the most vulnerable version of themselves. And when they follow you in silence, asking for nothing, that is an animal who could walk away choosing not to. They are not apologizing because they have to. They are apologizing because you were worth apologizing to. That is not nothing. That is everything. 6 ways. None of them loud, all of them real. Which one has your dog shown you? Tell us in the comments. We read every single one. Subscribe to Through Dog Eyes and hit the bell. Every week we go deeper into what your dog is actually living. They deserve to be understood. So do you.